No, it's not the fastest, but sporty doesn't equal fast. And we've got 2 spoilers, yeah. Let's see if we can get the top speed. Would be a nice ending to this video. What's up guys, welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Martin and today I'm taking a look at this all new Porsche Cayenne GTS. It's the coupe and I think this is the nicest Cayenne you can buy. Yes, I think it's nicer than the Turbo and I think it's nicer than the Turbo S. And today I'm going to tell you why on the road, on the Autobahn. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell to receive updates when we upload a new video, and check us out on Instagram at AutoTopNL. So today we have a Porsche Cayenne GTS. So this is the most sporty Porsche Cayenne you can get. No, it's not the fastest, but sporty doesn't equal fast. I'm going to tell you all about the Porsche Cayenne GTS. How has it come to life? Well, this is the 3rd Porsche Cayenne GTS because the first one was with the previous gen Cayenne and it had a V8, a big naturally aspirated V8, and it made one of the best sounds ever on a production car. It was amazing. But then Porsche decided to downsize it with the facelift and they went for a V6 turbo with 440 horsepower. Now it looks like that was the wrong move because that Porsche Cayenne GTS was not as legendary, far from it, as its predecessor. But now they thought, let's get that V8 back in there. Well, it's not the same V8, but it's a V8. And nowadays, that's good news. I mean, which car model went from a V8 to a V6 and then back to a V8? I think none. Could you imagine the new BMW M3 with a V8? That would be groundbreaking. And I think this actually also is, because I like this car so much. But I'll tell you all about it in this review. Okay, so at the back we have to mention the elephant in the room. You can get this car with a sports exhaust. Well, on the GTS it's actually as standard, but you can get a mid-diff center exhaust optional, but it's got a special silencer, special rear bumper design. It looks better, I think. It sounds better, supposedly, but we don't have it because when this press model was ordered, it wasn't available. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but we'll manage today. So you can recognize the sport exhaust because it has that special look. It's like a tip within a tip. That's the classic Porsche sport exhaust look. We also have the carbon exterior pack, so we have bits of carbon, like this diffuser part right here. Looks really awesome. I'm quite liking this coupe in red with the black accents, because previously we had like a gray one and I know it didn't like work for me, but I'm now getting used to these performance SUVs in coupe spec and I'm starting to like them, and I don't know if I like the fact that I do. We also have this part of the carbon pack right there, and on this side as well. Yeah, would be a bit strange, right? If it wasn't on that side as well. As stock, you get 21-inch rims on the GTS, but this has the upgraded 22-inch Sport Classic design. You also get upgraded brakes on the GTS. Now these aren't the ceramic ones, but these have the ceramic coating. So there's like a special coating on the brake discs that help them with heat management and braking performance. Now we've had these brakes on a Porsche Cayenne Turbo and I did like a 300 kilometers an hour run with it and had to slam on the brakes, but they were not really that great on that speed. So not sure what to think about that. Maybe test it on the Autobahn later on. We also have carbon fiber mirror caps. You need to have these nowadays. You're not part of the club if you haven't. And we've got 2 spoilers. Yeah, there's one right there and another one if any air escaped from this one. a black Cayenne GTS badge. So that black with red, that's like the classic GTS spec. You see a lot of these GTSs, whether it's a 718, a 911, or a Cayenne or a Macan, they're quite often in red and black, and I really like that spec. That black exterior pack, by the way, is also standard on the GTS. And they even blacked out the rear light units for the GTS. How awesome is that? As you can see, it's like a bit darker or blackish, and it just looks really cool with that red LED bar running across. And you get loads more on the interior, because you get this piece right here, a Cayenne GTS badge with some carbon fiber. You get red stitching, Alcantara leather interior, and these specially made GTS seats. And rear seats, also with a GTS badge. Combined with these red seat belts, it actually looks pretty damn cool, I think. And the aluminium interior pack is also stock on the GTS. So yeah, you see some bits of aluminium right here and carbon fiber. That's all stock. Oh, I forgot the fact that they also install these bi-xenon headlight units with also a black surface. So that's really cool. I mean, the GTS really has its own look because of all that stock stuff on it. And I really like that they did that. The GTS has always been like the party piece, the one to have when it comes to equipment. I mean, all the stuff I mentioned earlier, you have to pay for that. When you put that on a Cayenne S, the GTS model is often cheaper than a Cayenne S with these parts installed. So it's quite a good deal. Now we also have the optional red surface coating on the Sports Chrono pack and on the rev counter. This Alcantara headlining, by the way, is also stock on a GTS. Really gives it a sporty feel when you sit here. Okay, now let's open the door again and let's start it up. Now, as I said earlier, we have the sport exhaust. Quite a good sound, right? Already, because this is with valves closed. Now they're open. Oh yeah, no soft limiter, a nice V8 sound. I mean, this is the good stuff. Now that's all produced by the 4-liter V8. I'm going to turn it off again. That's underneath here. It's the same unit you get in the Porsche Cayenne Turbo, but it's been limited to 460 horsepower instead of the 550 you get in a Porsche Cayenne Turbo. So this now runs just 0.8 of a bar, and the turbo runs at 1.5 bars of boost. So that's quite a big difference. It's nearly half of the boost. So although it's the same engine, the driving experience is totally different. And I'm going to talk to you about that right now. So one more thing I want to be critical about is the stupid glued in key. Why do they do that at Porsche? You can just have a sport start button, right? What's wrong with that? No, they want it to look like your key is glued in there. Really awful to look at. I think it's probably because they want to have that classic key turning feel, but you know, this is just wrong. So the interior, this Cayenne, I think it's the best SUV interior out there. It's both conventional and modern. So they use analog dials with some digital units to back it up. And it's the way to go, I think. I still think an analog dial rev counter, it's just a piece of art. And all the stupid PlayStation stuff that's going on with the new BMW X5M and all the other competitors, I just don't like it. I promise you guys, in like 10 to 15 years, we'll look back on these cars and say, wow, that really was a dick move to go for these stupid digital ones. Okay, now, going to stop raving about that. Let's talk about the car. We are in normal mode, so this is regular driving mode, and oh, that little 0.8 of a bar of turbo boost, you get it quite early on. It really wants to go. And it's so nice. It comes in really smoothly. It's that classic V8 feel you just don't get in a V6 powered Porsche Cayenne S. It makes such a difference in terms of driving experience. Maybe not in performance, it's just a 20 horsepower gap, but driving it, it's just totally different. And it's much, much better. Okay, now let's switch to sport mode. Yeah, you can immediately feel it getting more aggressive, more nimble. Oh, the dampers stiffen. That front end really gets sharper. And the car has 4-wheel steering, so these short turning inputs get like amplified by the rear axle by turning in just a little bit. Well, it's actually turning out and the front end is turning in, so what a sound it produces. I mean, this car, there is still hope for us guys, for us petrol heads. And this car, even though it has like an OPF and all the silencing and filters you need to have nowadays with these performance cars, it produces one hell of a sound. Oh man, I like this car so much, guys. Okay, let's talk performance. So it should be able to do 0 to 100 in 4.7 seconds. And well, let's test it. I'm going to put ESP in sport mode and use launch control. Now this has a conventional automatic gearbox with a torque converter, but it's got a ferocious launch control, as you can see. Like most of these normal automatic torque converters, they have a launch control, but it's much more of a brake boost. But this one, I don't know how they do that at Porsche, but it feels like a clutch dump, and you get a massive amount of boost right at the start, and that's why it does. Okay, going to check it out on my phone. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. 4.58 seconds to 100 kph. Oh, not supposed to do that. Great performance, feels aggressive, feels fast. And don't forget that this is 30,000 euros cheaper than a Porsche Cayenne Turbo. The only difference is 90 horsepower, but that can be covered with a simple ECU remap. Not too sure if Porsche is too pleased that I told you, but yeah, you can go for an ECU remap and have Cayenne Turbo power for 30,000 euros less. I mean, is this a good deal or what? So on the Autobahn, I'm going to put the chassis into normal mode and see what that's like, how it copes with potholes, irregularities on high speed, and if it's as good on the Autobahn as it is on a nice B road. Here we go. Yeah, that's the main difference, that kick down combined with the V8 soundtrack and the V8 power delivery. It's so wide, that power band. Oh man, I like this car, and it just keeps pulling, and it feels a bit NA-ish, naturally aspirated, and that's because it doesn't run that high of a boost, because this is just 0.8 bar, so that's 267 already. This thing likes to do high speeds, I can tell you. Man. Quite impressive. So it's absolutely fine in normal mode. You don't feel like it's floating around, but let's put it into Sport Plus. We do have a bit of space ahead of us, so let's try that. It did a 12.30 100 to 200 run, which is a bit slower than a Cayenne Turbo Coupe, which did like a 10. The performance gap is really small. You could see the car moving there over those little irregularities, and that's because it's now in Sport Plus. It's just a bit more agile, a bit more nervous when it comes to handling, but I do like it when I feel the road without the car getting unsettled, and that's exactly what this Cayenne GTS offers. Maximum driving experience, maximum feel without the car getting unsettled and uncomfortable like it is with the X6M competition by BMW. So I think Porsche has found a really nice compromise for people who want a nice driving SUV. I know it's a bit of a contradiction, but man, I love this car. I mean, you guys know I love me some V8 SUVs. I know a lot of you don't, but I like these power performance SUVs quite a bit. I personally drive a Range Rover V8 supercharged, but this car is so much better. I mean, the V8 experience is just something else, and the fact that Porsche went back to this V8, I think it's the best move they ever made for the Cayenne. It's just, I mean, it's only a 20 horsepower upgrade when you compare it to the previous Cayenne GTS, but the upgrade when it comes to experience is amazingly big. So yeah, if you're looking for what I think is the best Cayenne at the moment, go for the GTS. I think it's better than the Turbo. I think it's better than the Turbo SE Hybrid. So even though you would say it's not that much of an upgrade compared to the Cayenne S, because it's just 20 horsepower, drive it and you will experience that it's much more than that. Let's see if we can get the top speed. Would be a nice ending to this video. 273, 4. I think that's it. 5. Yeah, going to brake here. Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced of those brakes. I'm not feeling the confidence like with the ceramics, but I mean, if you're going to push it on the Autobahn, go for the ceramics. Otherwise, these are just fine. Okay, so that was it, guys. That was a nice ending, I think. We're back in the Netherlands, so fun is over, as someone would say. Go subscribe to our channel by clicking right here, or watch this Cayenne Turbo SE Hybrid video, or go for this playlist and watch a bunch of reviews we made. Okay, thanks guys, bye.